That's right. I want to get out of class. Be careful what you say, because this is on now. I gotta make sure it's on in my room.
Good afternoon. I want to thank all the parents and family and friends who took time out of their afternoon to join us for their graduation. I'd also like to thank Mr. Johnson, our social studies teacher, who has put this on Zoom so they can hear us from around the world, which is kind of neat. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Scheidel and Officer Felton for all they've done for DARE and to get these kids excited about DARE and the choices that they've made and what they're going to make. With that, I'll just say, guys, since you've probably been in preschool or you've been in elementary, even 5th grade, they talk a lot about making positive choices, good choices. They talk a lot about, as you get older, they talk about character and integrity. I think a lot of you kids may have heard that character and integrity are the things that you do when nobody else is watching, and I think DARE has a lot to do with that. Today's the easy day. Today's the fun day, as it should be. But what will you do tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Will you still make the same positive choices? We remember the pledge that you made DARE as 5th graders, and that's something you need to think about. You've shown high character, high integrity thus far as 5th graders. I think you'll make positive choices now. Just remember that in the future, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Right now, can I get the Pledge of Allegiance leaders to step up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, congratulations, everyone. This is an important day, and that's why so many people came out here to support you on this day. But as Mr. Halverson said, what's more important about today is what you choose to do with it from this point forward. There's very few things we do in life that are more often in life than make decisions. Some big decisions, some large decisions. And part of decision making is how you react to things. Deputy Felton has given you several tools to work with and how you can go through life and make decisions. We hear a lot about somebody might have said something to upset me, or somebody said something that made me angry. Or we hear the word offended a lot. Somebody said something that offended me. What we have to remember is one of the things we are completely in control of is how we react to something. And that's a decision we make, how we react. We can't necessarily control what somebody else does, but we can control our reaction to it, both physically and emotionally. So in the DDMM, the DARE decision-making model, there's a lot of great tools in there to help us make decisions, and positive decisions, about not only what we do, but how we react and how we think. Because the mind is a powerful thing, and how we think can influence what we do. Okay, said in another DARE graduation a while back, I was recently at a wedding, and the pastor was marrying this couple, and he said, life is all about trading in one set of problems to address a new set of problems. And I thought about that, and I thought, that is very true. Every day, every minute, we always have challenges in front of us. They don't go away. One particular challenge might go away, we might get it taken care of. But right around the bend is another challenge. Every one of us, throughout our lives, will deal with that. Some challenges are greater than others, some are less than others. But life is all about trading in one challenge or problem for another problem, which requires decision-making skills to solve those problems in a positive way. One more point on that. Every one of us is dealing with some type of problem, if we've just talked about, some type of concern or challenge. So I want to leave you with this. That leaves a gaping opportunity for each one of us, every day, all the time, to make somebody's day better. Because you don't know what that person's dealing with. You don't know what their challenge is. I don't know what your challenge is. And you don't know what my challenge is. But what I do know is that I'm dealing with challenges, as are you. So we can always take that opportunity to make somebody's day better. Do something kind for them. Smile. Help them. Help a person in need. Don't wait for somebody else. You step out and do it. If you see somebody that's headed down the wrong path, step out and be a leader. Be that one to be bold and help them in a positive way. Be that person to lead the charge and be the example to everyone else around you. So congratulations for what you've accomplished here today. I want to thank Deputy Felton for his dedicated work to DARE. Deputy Felton and I have talked a lot, and I can tell you he cares about you, and he wants the best for you. And I'm proud to stand here with him today, and I want to thank Deputy Phillips for being here today, County Attorney Barrett Gipp, and the entire school staff for allowing this to happen. So thanks so much. I do need to sneak out, so Deputy Felton was nice enough to let me go to the front of the line here. I have another engagement, but thanks so much, and congratulations.
Welcome to our DARE graduation. I looked into the audience and I recognized some faces of being with us before, but thank you for coming again, especially today's special for our current class of 5th graders. You know, it's interesting as we think about DARE, just a short history to refresh your memory. DARE started in 1983. And we wonder its beginnings and origins started in Los Angeles, California, how it ended up here in Northeast Iowa. Well, DARE has grown and grown, and it is a consistent program that is now in all 50 states of the United States of America, and now being taught in 54 foreign countries. And the good thing about DARE is it is not only us, the law enforcement community, working, but it is a three-pronged approach. I have the opportunity to come in and work with professional educators. We work in the school environment on a curriculum that is science-based, educated-based. But then what we want to do is send that message home to you. Whether you're mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, or just a caring adult. We need every one of you to help them make better decisions. We think about DARE, and we think about drug abuse. In our curriculum, we only actually spend 2 lessons talking about drugs, and that is alcohol and tobacco. Later, when we do our follow-up program with 8th grade, it's a little different. But the rest of DARE is spent on decision-making skills. And as Sheriff Marks mentioned, you heard about the DDMM, and they know about it as the DARE decision-making model, because we want them to make better decisions. And that's what every one of us can help them make the better decisions, by talking to them. DARE builds on one lesson to the next. We talk about choices. We talk about peer pressure with emphasis on positive peer pressure. Be it scouting, 4-H, be it music, band, sports. We're working together with their History Fair project. Because if they work together with positive peer pressure, then they have a group to make better decisions. My favorite DARE day is near the end when I get to come into class and listen to them as they read their essay. I wish we had time today to share everyone's essay, but we are a little bit limited this afternoon, but we are going to share a few of their essays. And let's go ahead and start with one of those now, and I will ask Katie to come up to share.
Hi, my name is Kaden, and this is my DARE report. DARE teaches us not to do drugs and tobacco. Tobacco can cause heart disease, upper respiratory problems, lung cancer, mouth cancer, and tooth loss. Did you know that it is illegal to sell tobacco under the age of 18, 19 in some states? Alcohol can cause loss of coordination, poor judgment, memory loss of self-control, slow reflexes, and weakened the heart muscle. Too much alcohol can cause the body to lead to coma and death. DARE decision-making model. If you go to your friends to spend the night and he or she asks you if you want more, first things to find out, define. Find a problem, challenge, or opportunity. Then assess. Find the different choices. Next, respond by making the choices you have you have gathered. Last, review your decisions and ask, did you make a good decision? My decisions are defined. The problem, assess, to say yes or no. Respond, I decided to say no because you have to be 18 to take Lure. Evaluate, I decided to say yes. This is my daily report. I hope you like it. Thank you for being here. Stay drug-free.
Class, stand up for the banana cheer on 3. Okay. Face our guests and back. Hold out your hand. You got your banana. Ready? You can join us. You're welcome. Sure. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'd ask Ms. Meyer to come up.
Have you ever wondered what DARE is all about? Well, DARE is a class that I am taking with my classmates so we know not to use drugs in a bad way and teach us about bullying. DARE means Drug Abuse Resistance Education. In this essay, I will talk about how DARE has changed my life and how I think about drugs and alcohol. In DARE, we use something called the DARE Decision Making Model, or DDMM. The DDMM helps you with your problem. First, you define the problem. Next, you go over your choices. Then you make a decision based on the facts. And last, you see if you made a good choice. The first thing that we talked about in DARE was smoking and tobacco. Did you know that even a single cigarette has over 4,800 chemicals in it? In fact, 1 in 5 people die each year because of smoking. 15 million cigarettes are smoked worldwide every day. Did you know that if you're an average smoker, you lose 10 years of your life? But if you can stop by the time you turn 40 years old, you have regained those 10 years. If you smoke cigarettes or use tobacco, there is a way to stop. Smoking can be very, very addicting. Try chewing some gum instead of chewing tobacco. Or try going places that won't make you want to have a cigarette. Also, try distracting yourself from wanting to have a cigarette. If you do those things, you might stop yourself from smoking in no time at all. Smoking can cause bad effects on your body. You will have yellow teeth and bad breath if you're a smoker. People that smoke also have more lung disease and upper respiratory problems. Smoking harms almost every single organ in your body. If you choose not to smoke, you'll be healthier than the people that choose to smoke or use tobacco, and you'll live a happy life. After we learned about smoking and tobacco, we learned about drugs and alcohol. A drug is anything other than food that changes how your brain and your body works. There are good drugs and bad drugs. Good drugs are the kind that doctors give you if you are sick. Those drugs are okay to have, but you can't use too much or that would be abusing them. Bad drugs are drugs that are illegal to have or make you do bad things. When you use too many good drugs, you can start acting strangely. Good drugs are used to help cure a sickness, and if you don't need it to cure a sickness, or if you use too much to cure a sickness, you'll have more problems that take longer to cure. It is also okay to have a couple of beers or a glass of wine if you are old enough. But if you have too many and try to drive home, you can get into a car accident or get arrested for drunk driving. If you use good drugs for what they're meant for, they can help you get better. Good drugs and alcohol can cause things to happen to your body and mind. Those things are called health effects. If you aren't 21, alcohol is illegal for you because your brain is still growing, and if you drink alcohol too early, your brain or body might get damaged. If you drink alcohol too much, that can cause you to have memory loss, loss of coordination, slow reflexes, and lots of other side effects. And if you consume too much alcohol, you can also go into coma or even die. Did you know that 75,000 people in the U.S. die each year because of alcohol? A good fact is that most teens don't drink alcohol. Did you know that 90% of Americans that abuse drugs and alcohol started drinking alcohol before they were legal age? There are always people in the world that are willing to help you with all of your problems, but there is also people that try to get you to drink a beer or smoke a cigarette before you are the legal age. If someone tries to do that, the first thing that you should say is no, because drugs and cigarettes are bad, especially if you're underage. You don't want to say no in a demanding way, because that might make people get angry with you, and you don't want to be unsure about it, because then that person might actually get you to do that bad thing. You want to say no in a confident but respectful way. If they keep asking you, give a good reason. If they keep begging you, then walk away and don't look back. In there, we also learned about bullying. There are 4 different kinds of bullying. There is cyberbullying, which is when someone bullies someone else online. There is also physical bullying, which involves hitting, punching, kicking, and other kinds of hurtful contact. There is social bullying, which is when people say hurtful things, and relationship bullying is when a friend tries to take power over you. There are also different roles of bullying. The person that bullies the other person is called the bully, and the person that's getting bullied is called the victim. The bystander is the person that watches the bully hurt the victim and doesn't do anything about it. And lastly, there is a reporter, and that's the person that goes and tells someone about the bully. Tattling and reporting are also big parts of bullying. When someone keeps hurting someone else's feelings or body, then you need to tell a trusted person in your life. Bullying happens when someone says or does something mean more than a couple of times. I've learned a lot in DARE. We learned lots of cheers, and my favorite one was the banana cheer. The banana, we worked in a DARE workbook with extra credit pages. The pages were full of facts, and we practiced solving problems. We all got to try on handcuffs and glasses, that when you look through them, you got to experience what it would be like if you were intoxicated. Officer Felton was our DARE officer, and he was awesome. He's very funny, but still gets a lot of work done. In this essay, I talked about the DDMN and how it can help you solve problems, smoking and tobacco and how they're bad for you, alcohol and drugs and how too much can hurt you, bullying and how to stop it, and how much I love being in DARE. Thank you.
Stand up for the wrestler cheer on 3. We're going to do the silent wrestler. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're very lucky at the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office because we have a great working relationship with our county attorney's office, Mr. Vandermont and Mr. Yep. Not only do they come to our DARE graduations because they support DARE, They're also a great role model, but Mr. Gipp helps us a lot with our 8th graders, especially when we have a field trip in the mock trial. But also, sometimes they're not happy when we call them at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to get some legal advice, but they're always willing to be there to help us. And it's a great opportunity to have Mr. Gipp with us here today. Please.
Thank you very much to Deputy Feldman. Thank you guys for inviting us as well. I'm sure every now and then Deputy Feldman has told you about the good days and the bad days that we have in law enforcement in the legal system. Today is one of the good days. It's one of the great days for us because we get to see you guys graduate. We get to be here to celebrate with you. Get to congratulate you for the accomplishment that you've had and recognize you for that. Get to be here with your family, your friends. That's a pretty great day all the way around. We heard about the DARE decision-making model, the DDMM, what that means. And I think it's actually pretty cool because it shows that DARE is getting updated from when it started, as Tim said back in 1983 in Los Angeles. This is updating with the times. So I think back to when I graduated DARE in 5th grade, we didn't have the DDM. But then again, we also didn't have cyberbullying because we didn't have the internet, really. There's no Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. So DARE is consistently, constantly updating for what needs to happen. As far as the DDMM, we've heard Sheriff Marks, the principal, talk about choices and decisions. Because that's the key word in the DDMM, decisions. And how are those decisions that we make today going to affect the people we become tomorrow? Some of the decisions aren't exactly the most important ones, but we have to make them anyway. What are we going to have for lunch? Or what shirt am I going to wear to school? Or something like that. But there's a lot of other ones, like when someone offers me drugs, what am I going to say? If I see one of my friends getting bullied, am I going to stand up for them? If I see one of my friends going down a road that I think is bad for them, am I going to help them? And that's where the DDMM comes in. Because you have the ability, you have the knowledge that you can work through those issues. You can work through them together. So that those choices that you have to go through inform and help you become the people you're going to be tomorrow. You got to hear a little bit, too, about the people who are here to celebrate with you. The people who are here who are extremely proud of you, including all of us. And they're here to help you as well. So don't think that you're alone, that you have to make these decisions alone. Because you got each other, you have everyone else here. Because everybody here wants to see you reach your potential, wants to see you become teachers, doctors, whatever it is that you want to do. That's another part of another fun part of hearing the essays on days like today is hearing what people want to be. So just remember, in that DARE decision-making model, keyword is decision, those choices. That's tomorrow, though. Today's about you guys and your accomplishment. So congratulations to all of you. We're all very proud of you. Thanks.
I'd like to return to a couple more essays. And unfortunately, one of the essays that we selected, the young man could not be here today. And I have the honor of sharing his words with you. And if Evan Monroe were here, he would share with you, have you ever wondered what DARE means? If so, this is your lucky day. DARE actually has one meaning. DARE means drug abuse resistance education. Did you know that DARE is very important? I learned a lot in DARE. I learned what the DDMM is. It means DARE Decision Making Model. Do you know why we learned about DARE? Well, it isn't a joke. We learned about DARE because nobody wants you to get hurt. If you get hurt, it affects everybody, not just you. Remember that. Drugs can be good or bad. It's okay to have medicines, but only when you need them. You can misuse the drug and hurt yourself. Medicine is very helpful, but you have to use it correctly. A drug is any substance other than food that can affect the way your mind and body works. Alcohol is a drug that can affect you if you drink it underage. It can almost damage your brain so you can't function as well. Tobacco can hurt you, but in a completely different way. If you smoke, it will hurt your lungs. But if you use chewing tobacco, it will make your breath smell bad. It can also cause mouth cancer. Do you think if someone else smokes around you, it's not dangerous? Secondhand smoke can actually kill you, just like smoking. I hope you learned a lot in my DARE report. So, Mr. Evan, we miss him, but we'll be back, and please, if you have an opportunity to see him, share with him your appreciation for his work. Then, I would ask Josie, please cut her to the well.
Do you want to grow up to be a grandparent one day? I know I do. It was also the dream of my grandma Teascutter, who started smoking when she was a teenager. Unfortunately, the DARE program did not exist when my grandma was growing up. People thought that smoking was cool, but little did they know that smoking was harmful to their body. My grandma didn't know that smoking caused heart disease and lung cancer. At 30 years old, my grandma discovered the health effects from smoking and decided to stop. The DARE program was created so people would learn the negative effects of tobacco and alcohol and avoid getting started. As a 5th grader, my class had the opportunity to meet Officer Felton and learn about the DARE program. DARE stands for Drug Abuse, Resistance, and Education. One topic my class discussed was alcohol abuse. Alcohol is not harmful to adults unless it's abused. Having 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages is not harmful to your body, but having several will cause your heart to weaken and damage your liver. Even though 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages may not harm your body, it will weaken your driving ability by blurring your vision and slowing your reflexes. My advice would be don't drink and drive. Another topic my class learned about was drugs. Drugs can be good for your body, but they can also be harmful. A good drug would be a prescription drug prescribed by your doctor to cure an illness like strep throat. Other good drugs, such as Advil and ibuprofen, can be purchased from a store to help them with a minor illness. Drugs can be taking a prescription drug. Drugs can be harmful when they are abused or misused. An example of abusing drugs would be taking a prescription drug that is not prescribed by your doctor or taking too much of a good drug. Drugs can be very addicting when they contain nicotine. Drugs can cause a person to have wrinkles and bad smelly breath. My advice would be not to abuse or misuse drugs. As a class, we touched on peer pressure and stress. Peer pressure is when somebody pressures you into doing something you wouldn't do on your own. You can respond to peer pressure by saying no politely or walking away. Stress is when you are overwhelmed by an exciting or frustrating event. Signs of stress include getting angry, excited, or nervous. A few ways you can help calm yourself from stress are to relax in a quiet place and take deep breaths. The last thing we talked about in DARE as a class was communication skills. Did you know that talking is not the only way you can communicate? You can use body language to communicate without knowing it. For example, if a person gets angry and starts clenching their fists, they are using body language. When a person using verbal communication, there are 3 different forms: confident talker, unsure talker, and a demanding talker. A confident talker is someone who talks clearly and respects others' personal space. An unsure talker is someone who talks very quietly and doesn't talk fluently. A demanding talker is someone who talks loudly and does not respect other people's personal space. DARE has changed my life and many others. I now know much more than I did before about drugs and alcohol. I know my grandma will be proud of me when I choose not to take bad drugs or abuse alcohol. I hope you choose to follow the same footsteps as my grandma Teascutter and me when you take the DARE class. Thank you.
Class, stand up for the Miss Piggy cheer on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi-ya! Well, as much as I hate to admit this, when I sat down after doing Evan's essay, I got to look and realize I forgot to have us do a cheer for Mr. Evans. So, for our students who are going to lead Mr. Evans' cheer, will you please stand up? And I believe we are going to do the harp. Class, stand up. Harley on 3. Stretch out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. One thing I would like to point out to you as well, our 5th graders have a lot of different talents. It's really fun working with them. And if you'll notice the work that was done on the graduation brochure, and our students who did that, if you can stand up a minute as well, we also have a lot of students who did these, and if your special graduate one was not selected, please look at that with them. But it's kind of neat to see the artwork and the time that they put into that as well. And if you join me in a round of applause for our artists. Oh, he's telling my stick people look like they got run over. Then I'd ask Josie, that was good.
Hello, I'm Josie and I'm going to talk about DARE today. First I'm going to talk about what DARE is and how it works. DARE is when Officer Felton comes to talk to us about drugs, bullying, stress, and many more things. But these are the main topics that I would like to talk about today. Drugs, bullying, and stress are all bad things. It can sometimes lead to death. Now I'm going to talk about good drugs. Good drugs are used when you are sick or hurt. Good drugs can sometimes be bad for you if you're not careful with them. You can take an overdose or a different kind of drug that you're not supposed to have. Some of you might think that all drugs are bad, but they're not. Now I'm going to explain bad drugs. Here are some effects of bad drugs. Bad drugs can lead to memory loss, poor judgment, loss of coordination, slow reflexes, and loss of self-control. Things you shouldn't do are don't mix up medicine with alcohol, don't drink and drive, and don't drink under 21 because it's illegal. Now I'm going to talk about bullying. Here are 4 kinds of bullying. Physical is punching, hitting, kicking. Cyber happens over cell phone. Verbal, mean comments. Relationship, leaving people out. Bullying can lead to suicide and stress. And so that is why I'm going to talk about stress. When I get stressed, I start feeling sick, mad, tired, and worried. Then I start feeling different when I start dazing off or when I get sweaty. Then sometimes I get really mad, so I will relax or I exercise. I get stressed when sometimes do homework, when my brothers make me mad, and sometimes when I have to do chores. Now I'm going to talk a little more about DARE. So DARE got me thinking about my future. I'm not going to do drugs because it can lead to bad stuff, and I don't want that to happen to me. So thank you so much, Officer Felton, you taught me a lot, and I'm very sad that DARE is done with. Hope you learned some stuff. So why don't we give Officer Felton a round of applause?
Class, stand up for the loud wrestler on 3. Remember, you're a warrior. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for sharing your essay, students. Again, if we did not get your special graduate's essay today, please take some time to look over that essay with them. Talk to them about that. Not just today. Next month, next year, and as they get older, share with them. Because we know you are the major influence in their life. Now, if you have an older student, and you'd like a copy of their essay, maybe as they've gotten older for refresh your memory, I have kept them all since 1991, and we can pull those up and get you a copy, and things like that. But, well done. Now, I'd like to turn our presentation over to one of our dispatchers of reserve advocates, Mr. Phillips. Wanted to share a few words.
Well, I wasn't going to talk to you at all today because I don't like talking in front of public, unless it's on the side of the road, and I want to warn you to maybe slow down or correct some things. But I would feel really bad being the only one up here without a tie and without speaking. So I'm going to leave you with, because obviously at this point everybody has taken everything I'd like to talk about and used it already, is I'm going to leave you with the winter analogy of the big sledding hill. Every day we wake up, we have to make decisions. We've already made one, we've woken up. We look outside that window at home, we see this great big sledding hill. Boy, it looks great, lots of snow, maybe a little ice to make it really go fast. But we have to make a decision. And, of course, all decisions are good or bad. And at first, there's no bad decisions. Our first decision, are we going to put on our boots, snow pants, and coat and hat? Are we going to go out to that hill? Okay, we will. Decision, maybe. We hope. We go outside. We find our sled, or maybe we don't find our sled. Well, we're dressed, what do we do now? Well, okay, you found your sled, you're going to go up the hill. That's maybe a good decision, maybe a bad decision, we'll find out. Otherwise, you didn't find your sled. Oh, that sucks. That really bums you out. No sled, I'm dressed up, what am I going to do? Wait a minute, maybe I'll make a snowman, make a snow angel, maybe I'll call some friends, we'll have a snowball fight. Good decision, bad decision, it's a good, so far, good decision, no one's gotten hurt. Okay, those of you at your sled, here's the big hill. What's our next decision? How far are we going to go up that hill? Are we going to go a little ways? Maybe a quarter of the way? Half the way? 3/4 of the way? Or all the way to the top? Now remember, you're dressed. You may make this decision once to go out far up the hill, or you may make that decision again. And is it okay to start out maybe a quarter way up the hill? Sure. That's our goal, that's our goal. We're going to start at the quarter of the hill. We may slide down, we may decide, okay, we like that quarter of the hill, we're going to keep doing that. Or we may decide, okay, I did that quarter of the hill, I made good decisions, I'm going to go halfway up the hill, 3/4 of the way, all the way to the top of the hill. But remember, the more you climb that hill and the further up you climb, you're going to have some may have some problems. You may start slipping on the hill, you may hit ice. That's going to be a roadblock for you. So as you're making decisions that I'm going to go further up the hill, it may be tougher to get up that way. But just because you slip one foot, or maybe you slip and roll down the hill, you decide your day's done, your day's done. But if you choose to go all the way to the top of the hill, be determined. Remember where you slipped? Avoid that and get to the top of the hill. And just because we get to the top of the hill, we're going to have fun, right? We're going to go down that hill just as fast as we can. We're going to hit the snowman that they made way over there. We're going to dodge snowballs that are being tossed at us. But just remember, just because we made our goal and we're having fun now, we can still get hurt. We still have to be safe and smart when we're having fun. Because if we go up that hill, we slide down, we hurt our ankle, our day's done. We go up that hill 1 time, 5 times, 10 times, we slide down that hill, we make a bad decision coming down, we hurt ourselves, our fun is done. So just remember, as you go through life, you always have decisions and you always want to try to make the best ones. 3 things I tell my boys to do: pay attention, think, remember. Pay attention to what's going around you. Because sometimes by paying attention, you can avoid things that will harm you or cause problems for you, and you can avoid it. Think about what every decision. You may not know everything, but just thinking about it helps you prepare for the next time you encounter that. As long as you think about it, whether you know everything or not, at least you thought about it and tried to make the right decision. The last thing, remember, if you made a bad decision, it's not always the end of the world. We can remember that decision, and again, when we come back to it, remember, hey, that didn't work. Let's try something different and try to be better. So from now to as long as you're around, and we hope that's many, many years, pay attention, think, and remember.
Good.
We would like to thank Mr. Felton for everything he has done for us. He taught us all how to stay safe from drugs, tobacco, and alcohol. Most important of all, he taught us how to make good decisions and lead a successful life by standing up to ourselves and saying no to drugs. Please come forward, Mr. Felton. Okay. This is a small token of our appreciation for all you have done for us.
Each and everybody, thank you. It looks like I received a nice balloon and a card. Kind of interesting because it has flowers. Hopefully spring will come. And I like the garden. Wonderful. And you know, it's even brighter as I look at the card. It has everybody's signature. That's great. Thank you. And then I also have a gift certificate to one of my favorite restaurants at the Still Farm. Fifth graders, not only am I proud of each and every one of you, I thank you for this. This is a wonderful gift. Thank you so much. And before we give out the certificates, you can remember what we said DARE is found on 3 principles: law enforcement, you folks, family, coming in and working with professional educators. And I have been a very lucky man to come to Southwind School since 1991 to teach the DARE program. It was an interesting transition when I came in from being a street cop to working in the classroom. You know, it was such an easy transition because I work with outstanding educators. And if I work in any of the 5 county schools, I have been blessed. And about 7 years ago, I got asked to teach for DARE America, so I get to teach officers from all over the country how to be DARE officers. Most of them don't even know where Iowa is, much less Wenatchee County. But when I share with them how lucky we are in our schools, our community, our family members, and our teachers and professional educators, we are very, very blessed. And I am thankful to all these educators. I'd ask you to give me a round of applause because we are blessed to have them. And now are you ready for your stuff? All right. Well, hang on 1 second, 5th graders. Let me get things ready. Boss?
Kira Ellingson. Kendra Ellsberg. Aiden Feichert. Adrian Hageman. Elizabeth Hageman. Cole Hageman. Vince Hagel. Quinn Hinker. Paige Jaster. Brianna King. Phineas Clemish. Eric Kriener. Braden Mossman. Caden Meyer. Rachel Meyer. Brady Ort. Aniston Andrashek. Anna Paul. Emma Punish. Chandler Reilly. Austin Taylor. Brody T. Scudder. Josie T. Scudder. Parker Tim. Josie Tolsrud. Benjamin Winston. Aubrey Willing. Right now, we'd like to have all the fifth graders, would you please stand and face the audience? And I think these kids, they have worked so hard the last few months. Give them a round of applause.
everybody have a seat, fifth graders? Wait. Excuse me.
All right. I just wanted to say a few words here. I've had the honors of working with Officer Felton many moons ago, and I just want to tell you what a dedicated person he is, on the job, off the job, wherever you may go. He spends countless hours. If we had snow days, which we did, he made it up, just went out of his way. There were sometimes he had to stay off, and he came to spend it with the students. So that is what you call someone who is very reliable, responsible, and just a downright good person. So thank you, Mr. Felton, so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. What we're going to do now is, fifth graders, shortly I'm going to ask you, we'll gather over here under the basketball hoop and try to get a group photo. Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you would like to grab a group photo, then you'll have that opportunity. We'll remain in position as long as we can. Fifth graders, if you would do this for me, leave your stuff on your chair. If you want to bring the animals over for the photograph, you can. You don't have to. Your choice. Be patient with us while we try to get everybody lined up. Ladies and gentlemen, after that we'll have refreshments. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen,